What's up, crew? Welcome back to the shop. It's about time I get back on this F250 Crown Vic project. I'm at the point where I just need to take the time and get going on the wiring. And I absolutely hate wiring, so I've been looking for anything else in the shop to do. But there's no avoiding it anymore. I just need to get on and get this project on the road. Kind of show you where I'm at. Got a bunch of wiring in here I need to clean up. Do final runs on. Need to do the headlight wiring, horn wiring, and just clean it up. But the main stuff I need to do is here under the dash. I just need to take the time, get this stuff wired up, get it over with so I can get back to funner stuff. So we'll get you set up here and see how interesting this wiring can be. A couple things on this truck that I haven't shown in videos before, but I want to keep the dash and pretty much everything in here looking as original as I can. But I am going to use the Crown Vic's heating and air conditioning. So I'm using the Crown Vic's controls. They will fit in here where the factory ones went. And I'll show you that, see what I did on that to make it look a little bit more factory. Then also up here on these controls, this one was a switch for the light into the bed of the truck, like a cargo light, and I've got rid of that, so I had a hole here and I filled that with the flasher switch. I'm not sure when they changed it, but this truck originally had it in the glove box and I was going to keep that. Then at the junkyard I noticed that some of the later ones, this is a 69, but in 72, like I said, I'm not sure what year they went to that, but they put the emergency switch here in the dash. So since I got rid of that cargo light switch, I had a hole in the dash, so I pulled this out of the junkyard and filled that hole. Also, this one had the choke, and obviously this car is now fuel injected. I don't need the choke, so I took that out. And even though I'm using the Crown Vic's controls and heater and air conditioner, I adapted it to the truck's blend box. I'll show you that maybe later on in this video. But I was basically just going to have it run to the defrost and only defrost. Well, putting this in, it won't control the fan like it says, but with the cable, I'm able to move it from defrost down to my feet. So basically it was just to fill that hole, but gives me more options on my heater. And another thing I did in this one, and I'm not sure the exact years, I'll try to find that out and maybe put it up on the screen. But this truck, the wiper switch had a high and a low. I'm not sure what years they went to this, but you can go in and find in the junkyard the right years, and it plugs right into the truck's original wiper switch, but then it gives you a delay. So center's off, then you have high and low. If you turn it to the left, it now gives you delay. So this truck will have delay wipers. Like I said, I can't remember the years, but I'll try to find that out and put that up on the screen. But anyway, let's get into it. Another thing I did on this truck to keep it looking as factory as possible is I kept the stock radio, but I gutted it and I put a Bluetooth amp on the inside. So now it's all controlled by my phone. It still turns on and off with the factory switch. I don't know if you can see it, but it lights up also. Try to find some music that I can play on YouTube without getting in trouble. Just one of them things to try try to keep it original but still have some modern comforts. I put a 6x5 up here, and I'm going to put 6.5s in each kick panel. And I have a 10-inch sub that'll be going behind the seats. A little shallow one that'll fit back there good, so I can still get my seats back all the way. I got the wiring in the dash pretty much all buttoned up now with the Crown Vic wiring and splicing it into the truck's blinkers and lights and ignition switch and all that. It is a mess. There's so much wiring in this truck. I am gonna run it through some wire loom and clean it up a little bit. Before I do that, I'm gonna run through all my blinkers and lights and everything just to make sure I got it all wired right. And I also got the steering column put back in. In this truck, I wanted to keep it looking factory, so I used the factory steering column and I adapted it to the Crown Vic's rack and pinion. I don't know if you can see that. Just welded on the end there and ran down to the rack and pinion. Another thing I did was just have a little bit more room in this truck. I took about 4 inches out of the steering column, moved it a little bit closer to the dash, and I am going to run a little bit smaller steering wheel so it's not sitting right on my lap, but that should give me a little bit more room, make it a little bit more comfortable. So this truck has these marker lights on the side of it. I don't know if these are factory or if some farmer added them later. Honestly, they're kind of ugly, but that's the kind of the theme of this truck. And I want to keep them on there. Instead of just having a single filament bulb, I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to add this socket that takes a dual filament light bulb. Takes 1157s. That way this will be a marker light and a turn signal. Let's go ahead and work on that. These just kind of press in, then you bend the tabs, and once I bolt it into the truck, it should ground itself. I might have to clean a little bit of the paint off the truck where this bolts, but it should go in there. I'm just going to grind this off and see if I can pop this one out. Just like that. See if I gotta make this hole bigger or if this one's gonna fit. And it fits. Those tabs bent down and get this back in the truck. There we go. Now it clears. Get that thrown in the truck and see how it looks. And see if I did my wiring right. Here's the marker light. Once I get the blinker switch hooked up, I'll test that. Also got all the cab lights working. Got the blinker switch wired up now. Blinkers are working. The hazard switch works. Even lights up my third brake light. That was originally the cargo light, but I think it looks cooler as a third brake light than it would be useful as a cargo light. So I absolutely hate wiring, but this week I spent some time and actually sat down and went through a lot of it, and I've got most of it done now, but still got a little more to do. Just to show you what has to be done to wire one of these cars to run and get all the truck stuff to work. This is what I took out of the car. And there's more in there that I probably could have took out, but I just didn't want to mess with it. I've got it to where it'll run. And then I just had to rewire the truck stuff. Here's the truck's wiring harness. I took that out and started with a new one, but I still have some stuff I need to do, like the horn and windshield washer reservoir, but I've got the engine compartment pretty much done, cleaned up. Ran some wire looms. Got my computers and stuff mounted. I got all the inside done, the lights, the blinkers, the hazards. I even got the Crown Vic gauge put back in it. I even wired the blinker relay to the Vic gauges. So the indicators come on, let me know that they're on. I wired up this marker light to also run as a blinker light. Got all new bulbs in the whole truck. Then I went to my favorite local junkyard and found me some tail light lenses. I got those all on. They even wired me up a third brake light with the original cargo light. I don't even have a check engine light. I do have a tire low light and a door ajar light that I'll have to figure out, but all the gauges are working. Just a short video this week, but a little something. Watching a wiring video is probably worse than actually doing it, but we're getting it done, getting closer.